Oscar Piastri may already have his sights set on Ferrari, according to reports emerging in the aftermath of his tense Singapore Grand Prix weekend. Sources suggest the Australian's camp is quietly exploring opportunities beyond 2026, with Swiss outlet Blick claiming that the current championship leader is considering a move to Scuderia Ferrari for the 2027 season. Conveniently, both of Ferrari's current drivers, Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, have contracts expiring at the end of next year, potentially leaving the door open at Maranello. The timing of these rumours is striking. They surfaced just days after the Singapore Grand Prix, where Piastri endured a frustrating race following early contact with teammate Lando Norris. Forced wide on the opening lap, the Australian was left fuming when McLaren declined to issue a position swap, despite his stronger pace at the time. Team principal Andrea Stella, however, chose not to criticise Piastri's reaction. He explained that McLaren encourages open communication between its drivers and said he understood the young Australian's frustration. The Italian commented, "Obviously, Oscar made some statements while he was in the car, but that's the kind of character that we want to have from our drivers." The tension didn't end there. A viral clip from the weekend showed Piastri cutting off McLaren CEO Zak Brown over team radio, shutting down his car just as the American boss began to speak. Adding to the chatter, Piastri was notably absent from McLaren's podium celebrations after the team secured its second consecutive constructors' title in Singapore. The team clarified that he was simply fulfilling media duties at the time. McLaren further said that it wasn't our plan to celebrate then, but appreciative of F1 to make that possible for the team. Meanwhile, Ferrari's own season has been turbulent. Despite the fanfare surrounding Hamilton's high-profile switch from Mercedes, the Scuderia has struggled to deliver consistent podiums. Both Hamilton and Leclerc, as well as team principal Frédéric Vasseur, have faced mounting criticism amid the team's ongoing inconsistency. Should Leclerc decide to move on, 2027 could see a fascinating partnership at Ferrari. The young and ambitious Piastri, alongside the seasoned seven-time world champion Hamilton. It's a scenario Hamilton knows well. After all, he claimed his first world title with McLaren in 2008, the same team where Piastri is currently making his mark. Speaking about the Australian earlier this season, Hamilton said, "I don't know him a huge amount. We sometimes talk a little bit on the parades, but he's always been very easy to approach, easy to speak to. He's clearly a nice lad. I think the job he's doing is fantastic. It's mega for me to see McLaren doing so well because that's where I started, and also to see them so close. Him and Lando, two great drivers. The pressure on both of them will be unimaginable, I would say, for most people who are not experiencing it, and who have not experienced it. We've seen both, and obviously, particularly Oscar, doing a great job weekend in, weekend out, delivering, qualifying, and everything you need to do to win a world championship. For now, Piastri's focus remains on the championship fight. He continues to lead Norris by 22 points after finishing fourth in Singapore, one spot behind his teammate. But Norris's recent run of form, with 3 consecutive finishes ahead of Piastri, has begun to close the gap. While McLaren maintains that both drivers are treated equally, Piastri has hinted at expecting some form of payback after the team's refusal to issue orders in Singapore. During the race, Norris made contact with both Max Verstappen and Piastri, forcing the Australian wide, yet McLaren opted not to intervene. Andrea Stella later confirmed that the team's internal review of the first lap clash won't alter its philosophy. McLaren's approach, he insisted, remains unchanged. Both drivers are free to fight, but always within the team's racing principles. I can confirm that winning the Constructors and pursuing the Drivers' Championship, they kind of travel along independent tracks, because the internal competition in terms of the Drivers' Championship is regulated by principle, he said. We talk about, for instance, team interest. But the team's interest is also to make sure that we have fair racing between our two drivers, that they can pursue their aspirations, and that there is sportsmanship in the way we go racing. These are the guiding principles that remain even if we have achieved the Constructors' Championship. In reality, we get more and more of fine-tuning by reviewing each event. from which, even when things look like they were going perfectly, you always have a little bit to learn and review. So this race offers a little bit to learn and review, and that's what we will do. This isn't McLaren's first brush with a tense post-race debrief between its two young chargers. Yet, under Andrea Stella's steady leadership and the team's firm commitment to fairness, open conflict has so far been avoided. Still, with both drivers chasing the same ultimate prize, maintaining harmony inside the garage may prove to be one of Stella's greatest challenges yet. We want to protect this let them race concept. We know that as soon as you adopt this concept, you face difficulties, and we remind ourselves. But it's within this awareness, self-consciousness, in a way that then we develop our conversation. You need to have integrity in approaching that. I'm very proud of the way Lando and Oscar have been part of the process so far. Because if we have been able to navigate through these difficult parts of going racing, it's because we have Lando and Oscar on board. They've been just great individuals, just great contributors, and that's why it's been successful so far. And definitely we work hard to make sure this is true for the remainder of the season and the years ahead in which we will keep going racing with Lando and Oscar. Adding to the intrigue, F1 photographer Kim Illman claimed that McLaren staff in Singapore told him that the so-called papaya rules will be scrapped. According to Illman, both Norris and Piastri will be free to take the gloves off and fight for the championship on equal terms. He said via his YouTube channel, "There's no doubt, though, that tensions are rising and Oscar still has a 22-point lead. Lando took 3 points out of that tonight. There are 6 races to go, and I don't think Mark Webber is going to be telling Oscar to play the team game for the rest of those 6 races. I think it's going to be gloves off. He'll be pushing Oscar to do everything to win that championship." I spoke to a couple of people in the team tonight, and they suggested that the gloves definitely will be off. And papaya rules? Well, probably that's gone by the wayside too. Whispers within the paddock suggest that the mounting pressure of leading a world championship may be weighing on the young Australian. Some observers even speculate that McLaren could be leaning slightly in Norris's favour given the Britain's strong recent form and growing momentum in the standings. In response, Andrea Stella has reportedly sought to reassure Piastri's camp that every decision will be reviewed with transparency and fairness. McLaren's stance remains firm. Both drivers are free to race, but the battle must stay within the boundaries of respect and team principles. That sentiment was echoed by former McLaren driver David Coulthard, who publicly defended Piastri's call for the team to intervene in Singapore, saying that fair has to be fair. Coulthard said he fully understood why Piastri felt aggrieved after the team chose not to act during the race. "You can understand, actually," he said in commentary, "why you've got Oscar going. Hold on a minute, I've just been barged wide by my teammate." He puts forward a compelling argument. No further words needed. This is what I highlighted earlier in the year. You can only start meddling to a certain degree because at what point does it become unfair? With the McLaren garage still in disarray, is this an opportunity for Max Verstappen to pull a Michael Schumacher and win 5 consecutive drivers' titles? Let's discuss in the comments. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on the latest in Formula One. Thanks for watching.